A guy on your feed paid $500 for a pallet wrapped in plastic, cut it open on camera, and pulled out $2,000 of stuff. He never shows you the second pallet, the one that was full of broken vacuum cleaners and somebody's returned exercise bike with a missing pedal. That second pallet is the whole story, and nobody who sells the dream wants to talk about it. So let's do the thing this channel does. Let's run the actual math on buying liquidation pallets and reselling them. By the end, you'll know three things the hype videos skip. You'll know what a pallet actually costs once everything is added up. You'll know the percentage of every pallet that's basically garbage before you even open it. And you'll know the real hourly rate after the sorting, the testing, the listing, and the shipping that nobody films. That's the file. Let's open it. Here's the pitch you've already seen. A pallet of returned merchandise from a big retailer. Amazon, Walmart, Target, Costco. The retailer doesn't want to restock returns, so they sell them in bulk, cheap, by the pallet. You buy the pallet, you sort the items, you resell the good ones on eBay or Facebook Marketplace, and you keep the spread. The manifest says the pallet is worth $4,000 at retail. You paid $500. The math looks like printing money. And the bull case is real. Reports of someone turning a $5,000 pallet buy into $15,000 of sales exist, and they're not all fake. That's the number that ends up in the thumbnail. 3x, 30x, whatever gets the click. But the manifest value is a trap, and here's why. First, rehook. The manifest is retail value, not what you'll actually get. The number on the sheet is what the items cost new, on the shelf, in perfect condition. You are not selling them new, on the shelf, in perfect condition. You're selling used returns on a secondhand marketplace to people hunting for a discount. The experienced resellers have a rule of thumb for this. On a returns pallet, assume only about 60% of the items are even sellable. And of that sellable value, you'll realistically recover maybe 40 to 50% of the manifest price. Run that on a pallet with a $4,000 manifest. 60% sellable is $2,400 of usable goods. Recover 45% of that, and you're looking at around $1,080 in actual revenue. Not $4,000. The manifest was never your revenue, it was the bait. Second, rehook. Roughly a third of what's in the box is broken before you touch it. This is the part that gets cut from every unboxing video. In a typical customer return pallet, about 35% of the items are damaged, broken, or missing parts. Think about what a return actually is. Someone bought it, opened it, didn't want it, and sent it back. A lot of those returns came back because the thing was defective. You are buying the pile of stuff other people already rejected. Some of it is genuinely fine. A chunk of it is dead on arrival. And there's a second catch stacked on top of the first one. By the time a pallet reaches you, it has often already been cherry-picked. The liquidation companies, and sometimes the resellers in between, pull the highest value items out for separate sale and rewrap what's left. So the manifest might say there was a tablet and a pair of premium headphones in there. The manifest is not a promise that they're still in there. The closer you buy to the original source, the less this happens. Buy a pallet off some random person on Facebook claiming they've got Walmart pallets, and you are very likely buying a box that's been picked over 3 times already, with the good stuff long gone. Here's how the cherry picking actually works, because it's worth understanding. Returns pallets get exchanged between resellers multiple times before they hit the bottom of the chain. Each time the pallet changes hands, someone opens it, pulls out the items they know they can sell, and passes the rest along. By the fourth owner, the profit has already been harvested out of the box. What's left is the long tail: the off-brand phone case, the half-used candle, the blender with no manual. You are not buying a treasure chest. You are buying whatever 3 smarter buyers ahead of you decided wasn't worth their time. The only defense is to buy manifested pallets directly from the original liquidation platform, where the contents are documented and the box hasn't made the rounds yet. Third, rehook. The real cost of a pallet is never just the pallet. Let's add it up honestly, because this is where the margin quietly dies. The pallet itself, for a beginner buying a single manifested load, runs somewhere around $300 to $500. Then shipping a freight pallet to your house is not cheap. That's often another $100 to $200 because you're moving hundreds of pounds on a wooden skid, not mailing an envelope. Then, when you sell, the marketplace takes its cut. On eBay, plan on around 13% of every sale gone to fees. Add packing supplies, roughly $1 an item. Add the storage space the pallet eats in your garage while it sells down over weeks. So a pallet advertised at $500 is really a $700 commitment before you've sold a single thing. And 13% of everything you do sell walks back out the door in fees. And those are just the costs you can see coming. There are two more that ambush beginners. The first is testing. Every electronic in that pallet has to be plugged in and checked before you can honestly list it, because a third of them are broken and you don't know which third. List a dead item as working, and you eat the return, the refund, and a ding on your seller account. The second is dead inventory. Not everything sells. The stuff that doesn't move sits in your garage for months, or you dump it at a yard sale for pennies just to get the space back. That unsold pile is money you spent that never came home. On the books, it looks like you broke even. In your garage, it looks like a stack of boxes you're tripping over in October. Now, the part the whole channel is built on, the hourly rate. Here's the number that should stop you. A single pallet demands somewhere between 25 and 50 hours of work to fully process. That's unloading it, sorting it, testing every electronic to see if it actually powers on, photographing each item, writing each listing, answering buyer questions, packing, and driving to the post office. Over and over for one pallet. Let's be generous and say you bought a good one. You paid $700 all in. You pull $1,100 in sales out of it. You take off the 13% eBay fee, call it $143, and another $50 in supplies and gas. Your profit is around $207 on that pallet. $207. Now divide it by the hours. At the low end, 25 hours, that's about $8.30 an hour. At the high end, 50 hours, it's about $4.15 an hour. You'd make more working a single shift at almost any job in the country. And that's the good pallet, the one that actually sold. Now picture the bad one. The cherry-picked box where the sellable rate comes in under 50% and a third of it is broken. You paid $700, you pull $600 in sales, and after fees you're underwater. You didn't earn a low hourly wage that month. You paid for the privilege of sorting through someone else's trash. One experienced reseller put it bluntly. This isn't a lottery ticket, it's a waste management business. You are being paid through the margin to find the 20% of the box worth saving. So is there a real version of this that works? Yes. And this is the honest part because the answer isn't just walk away. The people who actually make money on pallets do 4 specific things, and none of them are exciting. They buy manifested pallets only, never blind ones, so they can run the math before they bid instead of gambling. They buy shelf pulls instead of customer returns when they can, because shelf pulls, overstock that never got sold, run around 80% sellable instead of 60%. They specialize in one category they actually understand, usually tools, or a specific kind of electronics, so they can spot value and test for defects fast. And they buy as close to the source as possible to dodge the cherry picking. Do all 4, and the margins are real but modest, and it's a genuine business with inventory and storage and hours. It is not the thing in the thumbnail. The thumbnail is the highlight reel of the 1 pallet out of 10 that hit. You're watching survivorship bias with a soundtrack. So here's where the money actually is, and isn't. The advertised version, buy a mystery box and flip it for 3x, is a story built on the manifest value, which you'll never realize. Hiding a 35% breakage rate and 25 to 50 hours of labor per pallet that drags a decent-looking profit down to single-digit dollars an hour. The real version is a narrow, boring, specialized resale business that can clear a real margin if you only buy manifested shelf pulls in a category, close to the source, and you treat your time like it's worth something. If you were about to spend $500 on a plastic-wrapped gamble because the algorithm showed you the winners and hid the losers, now you know what was actually in the box. If this is the kind of breakdown you want before you spend the money instead of after, subscribe. Sammy reads the manifest so you don't have to. That's the play. Now you know where the money actually is.